Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Welcome back to the 3-0 Take, presented by Chinook Seedery. This is episode 525. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin. I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes. Nathaniel.
Hey, hi, how you dirt? What's good? What's up, man?
What's good, dude? What's up?
Ooh, just living large.
You watching some ball right now?
Watching a little ball right now.
Watching a little ball. Nothing better than a little ball on a Sunday afternoon. How about it?
Yeah.
Such a beautiful thing.
Nice lazy Sunday.
Nice lazy Sunday. That reminds me, we got to get Ryan on this show soon.
Yeah.
Got to get Ryan Ripken, friend of the pod. Let's talk some ball.
Sure.
Before we do that, though, let me run this by you. I got a question for you. So, as people very well know, this show is sponsored by Chinook Seedery.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking, and I actually received some inquiries this weekend.
Okay.
/ last week about a custom spitter for these Chinook Seas. Maybe slap some 3-0 Take signage on a cup or variation of some sorts. Would you be interested in said product?
I would.
Because I need something. I mean, honestly, right now, I've got it right here. Just this like little aluminum tin cup.
Yeah.
Just as like a placeholder. But
it's not a good look.
I need something a little more branded.
Maybe we really hit the drawing board and like think of something here. You know what I mean? Because like that's an untapped market, my friend. A spitter?
It really is. You do a little Google search, not to like push anybody towards something else in the meantime, but a little Google search does not yield great results.
No.
So we could have something in the works here.
Hit a little Shark Tank.
Oh, I don't know about that far, but
I do.
Maybe
That's where my mind goes.
Maybe. Let's talk some ball. Let's talk some hot starts. I want to get your thoughts. Oh, my light's not on here. Let's get this light on. There we go. I want to get your thoughts on whether or not you buy or sell some of these hot starts that we've got.
I like it.
I feel like I know where you're thinking, where you're going to go on some of these, but I'm not as so sure on some others.
Okay.
Got some players, got some position players, some pitchers, and even some teams that I want to get your thoughts on here on this Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
Let's start with Babe Ruth himself, Ivan Herrera. He's coming into today, hitting 400 with you ready for this? 1.555 OPS.
Pretty decent.
Among catchers with 250 plus plate appearances since 2024, Ivan Herrera leads Major League Baseball with a 143 weighted runs created plus. The next closest is William Contreras at 125. Are you buying this?
Well, he just got hurt today.
Yeah, not great.
So.
He literally got helped off the field as we opened up this call.
An apparent leg injury.
Don't love that. Don't love that.
So, look, I not to like dive too deep. I think there's a reason why they kind of had to find a different scenario for Contreras and like move him over to first. And I don't think it was solely about the struggles that Contreras had. I think it had a lot to do with this kid coming up. I think one can assume St. Louis is a little bit of a catching factory, maybe, and there's probably something into that.
Speaking of which, real quick, was there any legitimacy to that quote from Yadi Molina, or was this just another fake post that's on Facebook? Because there's a lot of those on there.
I don't know if I saw what you're talking about.
He said something, again, don't know if it's true or not. Somebody can help me out. Did he say like that he would manage the Cubs if given the opportunity, that he just really wants to manage? Is there any truth to that quote? I couldn't fact check it, but I've seen it from multiple outlets, but I don't necessarily trust any of these outlets.
There is this weird trend, by the way, that I can't stand the fake news quotes.
Dude, it's taking over. Don't know
the fake news like deaths is really weird, like celebrity deaths, and it's like, what are we doing?
People,
and then
that's the problem with monitor. Not to go on
the fake news trades, like.
Yeah, not to go down this rabbit hole, but like that's the problem with these you start monetizing these social platforms. People are like, I'm going to throw morality throw ethics out the window in pursuit of a few bucks.
Yeah,
stuff, not even clickbait stuff that doesn't even make any sense. It's not even true.
Just fake stuff. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of them. But at the same time, I don't know, man. Like I'm not a Cubs fan. I'm not a Cardinals fan. If there's some in the chat, let me know if I'm just totally off base here. It doesn't feel like that much of a rivalry. It's not. I don't think it's as strong as people.
Oh, we're talking Yachty still. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I mean,
it's definitely a rivalry. I mean, it's the same thing as like right now saying the Red Sox and Yankees are on a rivalry. It's like, yes and no. Like it's a rivalry, but is it at its peak right now? No.
I just don't know if it's that. I don't know if there's like as much hatred there.
That I think they hate each other. It's just there's not much juice to it, and you could say that with the handful of other rivalries around the league right now.
I guess whatever. But
honestly, I think Padres. Yes, not to bounce around, but I think the leader in the clubhouse right now is L.A. San Diego. I think that's just where the heat is most right now. But anyway, yeah, not to go down a Yachty segue, but to your point, catching factory in St. Louis. You know, it's guys like we've mentioned this before. It's guys like this that you don't necessarily anticipate being a major factor, but could prove to be when all is said and done. You look back, you go, that was our X factor in terms of getting to where we got,
like which turning the page into a new chapter.
Yeah, which other people didn't foresee us doing, and that may even manifest into a postseason spot. Who knows?
This year?
No. Well, yeah, like maybe it's a very, very, very dark horse. Not anticipating that being the case this year, but like
I get what you're saying, because I mean it's like a lot of attention is on Mason Wynn, a lot of attention is on
Jordan Walker, even. Yeah, I mean,
and yeah, if I were them, man, I would really just double down and flip Sonny Gray into something.
And you got to figure out a way to get Nolan out of there too, but nobody's taking that bait.
Nolan Gorman, by the way, another name that like Brendan Donovan, like they have some pieces that like they could put some stuff together.
Yeah.
Ollie Marmol's got to get out of that chair. I'm sorry. I'll die on that hill.
I feel obligated every time we bring up that name. I have to mention that I still get comments to this day on our YouTube video where we said he needed to be fired. And people to this day are like, yeah, it's like April 2025 and he's still here.
Yeah.
So Cardinals fans definitely feel the pain. But all in all, though, are we buying certainly not to this degree. You're not going to maintain a 1555 OPS pace. But are we?
I just haven't seen it enough. I mean, this is great. A lot of it was done in one game, you know.
No, but what I'm saying, like that nugget I shared earlier, going back to last year, the only catcher with 250 plus plate appearances, with as high of a WRC plus as he has. The next closest behind him is William Contreras.
Screw it. I'll buy it. Let's roll.
Let's go. Let's go.
Why not?
Yeah, let's buy it. Let's buy it.
Give me something exciting in St. Louis.
Give me something to rally behind in St. Louis. I like it. Speaking of giving something to rally behind, I know you're a big Christian Campbell guy. Are we
Huge.
buying? Say it again.
I said huge. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Okay. Big Christian Campbell guy you are, and I know you're a fan of this start. Coming into today, 2 jacks already. He's hitting 423. He's already accumulated 0.7 WAR, which do with that information what you will, but not bad for a guy that just signed a 8 years, $60 million contract.
Mm-hmm.
OPS of 1323. I'm absolutely, like, bias aside, I'm absolutely buying this. He's part of the big 3 there with Boston, and for good reason. And I think that this is going to age well this year, given the state of the team. Now, I mentioned after he signed his extension, I said this could be one of those contracts that ages, or not contract, but the trajectory of his career. I could easily see this being a situation where, maybe
you got like a player comp for me. You watch more Sox games than me, so I've just been catching highlights of him. He looks good. A lot of barrels.
I don't. The problem is he's 6'3" and he plays second base, so it's like that kind of messes with my head. But like,
is DJ LeMahieu like a weird comp? Because I'm not seeing
a
ton of lift out of him, right? Like,
no, call me crazy. Is like an Ian Kinsler fit far off.
Well, I mean, Ian Kinsler, I think was like 5'10", but yeah,
that's why why I preface it by saying he's 6'3", which makes it a little tough. You're gonna the
like
player
occasional pop could have a 25 to 30 home run year, but it's not like perennial.
The
25 home run guy.
The player pool at second base of guys that are 6'3" and he's listed at 6 flat, by the way, Ian Kinsler. Endeavors just went yard, by the way. Love that. The kid's back. You idiots didn't believe in Rafi Devers.
Yeah.
What a bunch of chumps. Imagine not believing in Rafi Devers.
Imagine like last year when everyone wanted to send Judge down in April.
What a show.
He had one of the greatest seasons a hitter's ever had. So
literally.
Season's long, boys. But
like Ian Kinsler, looking at his season logs
comp.
here. Yeah, looking at his season logs here. The most home runs he had in a season, 32.
Mm-hmm.
Could I see Christian Campbell putting up 32 as a career high? Sure.
Maybe.
But like he said, for the most part, Kinsler's sitting at like 15, 17, 19, like that. I mean, that's a comp that I would go with.
That's not a bad comp. That's not a bad comp.
Thank you.
Doesn't look like he strikes out a ton.
No.
Doesn't look like he really, like, from what I've seen from him, it doesn't look like he falls behind a ton in the count either. You know what I mean? It's just, I think is very good bat to ball skills and uses the entire field from what I have seen. Again, you're watching him more than I am. So I would say I'm buying. I think it's real. I think it's a good combo too. Like when you have a young kid that like is allowed to come up and not be the sole spotlight attention. You know what I mean? Like that, it's a deep lineup and a lot of hype around the team this year. So it's like, I feel like this is a good time to press this button, call these kids up. So yeah, I'll buy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and buy that. Sorry, I'm just taking in this Devers home run. By the way, fan or not a fan, your anti-bias aside, are you a fan of the Wally head for the home run celebration? I know you've seen it. Are we a fan of this? I'm just going to go ahead and assume you're more of a fan of this than the Blue Jays jacket, because I think that's
yes.
that's the bar. That's
Blue
the
Jays jacket
threshold.
sucks. The fact it's been used for 4 straight years.
It's not 4 straight years, has it?
It
feels like it.
I think we could strongly say 3. I could.
You think?
I could put my money on at least 3.
3 sounds right. 3 sounds right.
I'm kind of over the dugout home run stuff.
The
Like
props.
there's just so many like the fireman's helmet in Los Angeles for the Angels. It's like,
I kind of dig that. Not gonna lie.
and you got the thing, freaking
Trident in
thing,
Seattle.
Yeah, it's just like they're not bad props by any means. I'm just like, it's a lot. It's to the point where every team has something. That reminds me, by the way, it popped up in my head. I've meant to mention this a while ago. To be better with the Dodgers wave thing. Let's come up with something. Every double home runs, the way, like, come up with something else.
Are they doing that still? Because
They're
the last
still
I
doing
saw,
it.
Did you see what they're doing now? The celebration with the thing across the eyes. Apparently, Shohei, believe it or not, I know it's crazy. Apparently, Shohei was in an ad in Japan, I believe. It wasn't an American ad. It was a Japanese ad. And
if it was an American ad, we'd know.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
No, but apparently was it like a men's makeup ad or
Bro, I was just giving
like
me Joey Tribbiani.
Yeah, no, literally, that's exactly
for men.
That's exactly
The
what
lip
I
gloss.
thought when I saw it. I was like, oh my God, this is Joey. Apparently, he takes the product, like the tube of whatever it is, and like runs it across his eyes like this. So apparently that's like their thing now, is that I think it's like any extra base hit. It's like a double,
Better
or
than
when
the
they're
wave
rounding
thing.
third. I know what you're talking about, this thing. Yeah.
So tired of it. I thought it was dumb last year.
But I dig stuff like that. A little inside joke, a little like ribbon.
That's cool.
Ribbon a guy that, probably takes the game a little too seriously sometimes. And Shohei, get Shohei to loosen up a little bit.
There's little things that I think are fine. Like there's those little things are fun. It's like the second a prop starts to become like the main thing, I'm just like,
Nah, I dig it. If it's good, if there's intentionality behind it, and you're not just coming up with something just to come up with it, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Anything to
This
rally
all
the team.
started, by the way, with the Red Sox BP cart. After home runs, where they would hop in the cart and they would be. I feel like they were like the first ones to like have like a thing.
It's hard to say.
Early, wasn't it? That was like 2018.
It was, or no, I think that was like 2021. I thought that was the year they went on that ALCS run. Anyway,
I feel like that's what really kicked all this stuff out. Every team has their thing after an extra base hit. But like as far as props go, I'm going to blame them
for sure. Fair enough.
And that was a good prop. I didn't mind that prop.
That was great.
It's like it's naturally in the dugout. You know what I'm saying? Like
low key, kind of dangerous though. I always was in that camp of like, maybe we're not just throwing guys into a shopping cart and running them down the dugout.
Yeah,
but they made it work. I don't think
if you're using something that's naturally in there like that, I can. Like I don't even dislike the after the Dodgers home runs where like the seeds should get thrown in the guy's face as he's coming close. Like I think that's kind of funny. Like stuff with like bubble gum, like dumping, like. I can get on board with that stuff. It's things that are naturally there. But the second I see a mascot head or a freaking blazer with patches,
no, we're not gonna slander the Wally head.
I'm over it.
No, we're not slandering the Wally head. Moving on here, Spencer Torkelson, another guy that I think, well,
may have arrived.
You you wrote this guy off last year, and I'm going to hold you to that. You're not getting out of this one. You said
I was just ready for a change of scenery.
no. You literally said like maybe this is the end of the road for this guy. Like maybe he's done. Maybe he's
I'd like to see that
done
receipt.
playing. But
I'd like to see that receipt.
You don't-
I'd like for that receipt to be dug up.
you don't remember saying this. You literally, and I'm not trying to pull a fast one here. You don't remember saying that like maybe this was it.
No, well, I think I need to see that receipt. Not now. You got time.
Okay.
But I'd like to.
I'll try to hopefully he just goes off before next pod and it'll just make it that much worse.
Yeah.
I'll try and find
because
that
like
receipt.
I watched him at ASU and he was like all the rage over here. So I don't remember being like that down on him. I thought the Tigers mistreated him. I thought the Tigers didn't do a great job of bringing him up initially and sending him down. And it was like a very rock of confidence, kind of thing that I remember saying this offseason that like there was a lot of smoke with like a Jordan Montgomery for Spencer Torkelson trade to get Montgomery out of Arizona and then to get Spencer back home. And I was like, maybe a change of scenery would be good for him. But this is it looks like a good start, man. This is a really good start. He looks like, I think it always says something if you see power hitters that can go the other way. But it's also the same thing of like when power hitters are hitting home runs and pulling the ball in, they're not needing to get super extended. When you see power hitters do what they need to do on balls in, like that's where I feel like, okay. And he looks good. He's popped a few in LA, popped a few in Detroit. He looks strong.
Okay. It's coming back to me a little bit. Maybe you didn't say that he was done as a player.
Oh.
Maybe you just said it was something to the effect of like, maybe this is just who he is. Do you remember this conversation? I'm trying to remember it. It was because we were talking about, what were we talking about? It was after he got sent down, surely. But the conversation was like his athleticism or lack thereof, and some guys just they get brought up having developed a certain type of swing. Maybe it's a longer swing. Do you not remember this conversation at all?
I mean, I could see that a little bit. I could see that somewhat being a thing, but I don't remember being that down on him.
You were pretty down on. You didn't maybe you didn't say like send the guy to the moon, but it was something like maybe this is just who he is who we thought he that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought I remember, or I thought you remembered.
Don't try to backpedal after off of having to go dig up some receipts because
I know I'm gonna dig it up. We're gonna bring this back. I'm gonna revisit this if I remember to go find those.
That's our
receipts,
goal. That's our goal because we've had predictions, we've had takes. That's the name of our show. So we need to make sure that we go back and recap some of these takes. We suck at that. So we're gonna hold each other accountable.
I'm gonna go do a little digging. Jacob Wilson of the Athletics. Still have not gotten used to just seeing the word athletics in like the standings or statistical categories. Just looks weird.
I agree.
Looks very odd. Jacob Wilson coming into today hitting 364.
What's up, pal?
Spencer Torkelson, you buying this? You think he's back?
Yeah, I'm buying it.
Buying it? All right.
Go buy it.
I bought it. I picked him up in fantasy because I said, you know what? This is who he is, not who Nate thinks he is. All right, moving on. Jacob,
words in my mouth here.
You said it, not me. Jacob Wilson of the Athletics. He's hitting 364 coming into today. 2 jacks, 7 ribbies. And a name that I don't think was getting enough. Heck, I'll even say it when I was talking all that noise on the good noise. Talking all that noise on the A's coming into the season, saying, "Yeah, keep an eye out on the A's.
Mm-hmm.
They could be a team that makes a run at that one of those bottom postseason spots. This wasn't even a name that I recall mentioning.
I don't remember really diving into it either. It kind of space that is. I mean, his dad, Jack Wilson, like he's another generation that we're getting in the show, and I didn't even put it together. Paige and I went over to a family friend's house over in the neighborhood next to us with her parents, and his neighbor is Jack Wilson. So I'm like, whoa, okay. So, yeah, shame on us for not, knowing our stuff more, but he looks good.
And news to me, currently listed according to Vegas as the third best odds to win Rookie of the Year. How about that?
Yeah.
Good for Jacob Wilson.
Yeah, man. For sure.
No, but as I just mentioned, I didn't give this guy the credit I think he deserved coming into the year, but this is one of those names, like I mentioned, that could prove to be a very valuable piece should they make a run.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like Max Muncy has gotten a little bit more attention over there for Rookie of the Year.
Well, he plays for the Dodgers, but I'm kidding. No, I know who you're talking. I know who you're talking about.
All right.
I know who you're talking about.
But I feel like he's gotten more naturally. I feel like just because of the same name.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm buying.
Let's look at.
I'm buying the fact that like what the A's have as an opportunity. You just have these guys that just get to play every day. And I'm buying the new chapter that's starting. I'm buying the signing and extending certain guys. Like I'm buying putting something together and holding on to it. And I'm buying the fact that this guy's going to be able to play every day without too much expectation, without too much spotlight. That's a good way to develop.
Not the greatest start for Max Muncy, by the way. He's hitting $115. He's got a jack, a couple RBIs, but only a few hits on the year thus far. But hopefully he turns around because I really want to see this A's take of mine age like wine.
I don't think it's a crazy take, man. I really don't. Between the Butler and Bleday, between Langeliers, like.
Who's swinging it very well, by the way. I think he even hit another one yesterday.
Yeah, and Rooker, obviously. Like, you have some stuff going on there.
Yeah, you know what? The more we talk about it, I'm like, I think the people that were calling my take trash are the ones we need to be looking at, questioning. Like, my take wasn't that bad.
I don't know. I think it's a little crazy to say they could sneak into a wild card, but I do. It's kind of like the way we've been viewing the Tigers and the Royals over the last few years. It's
exactly.
Like, all right, you're putting stuff together. You're making smart moves. So
Tyler Soderstrom also swinging it well to start the year.
Yeah, very true. Very true. He's been playing first for them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. If that rotation can put something together respectable, that take is going to age rather well, I think. Yeah. Hopefully. Spencer Schwellenbach. Talking about a guy that's off to a fantastic start. Let me pull up the game logs that he's got.
One of the few bright spots going on over there in ATL so far.
First start of the year. Went 6 deep against the Padres, only allowed a hit, had 4 Ks. And then his most recent start, which I believe was the 4th, went 8 innings of shutout ball, 2 hits against the Marlins, 10 Ks. So right now he's sporting an ERA of 0s across the board. He's 1-0, 14 Ks with a whip of .29.
Yeah, man, that's pretty good. Pretty good start.
What do you think? You think this is I'm feeling positive today.
Freaking clean the entire thing up with just buys all over the
Buys.
place.
I got money to spend today. Where I
Yeah.
think I'm buying it all. I like this as a name to slot in to maybe help serve as a I don't want to say an X factor, but a guy that can just hold the fort down while things get figured out around him, including the lineup, which we talked about last episode, being horrendous with runners in scoring position and guys that you just expect to be hitting the ball, just aren't hitting the ball right now. Guys you just feel like you can believe in blindly, almost just aren't exactly coming through right now. But again, it's early. But if he can be a guy that they can look to in the meantime, is like, all right, if this guy can continue to pitch well for us while we wait these other issues out, while we iron these other things out, and then we wait for Acuna to get back, we wait for Strider to get back and sort of supplement his work in the rotation. I feel like I could see that scenario playing out. So I'm going to go ahead and buy it as well.
Yeah. Give me a buy on just the fact that, like, I think it goes a long way when one side of the ball is really struggling and the other side of the ball picks them up. And I know it may not have necessarily totally come out and shown in the win column or not, but I think that goes a long way when a pitcher can say, you know what, I gotta find a way to do it for my team because the offense is just going through a little bit of some stuff right now. I think that goes a long way. And I'm not calling Braves fans out. I think they did somewhat miss an opportunity by not adding to the staff this offseason. But I think you also have to fall back and have some faith in that front office and understand that, you know what, they may have known something that we didn't with this name and saying, you know, I think we're fine. I don't think we need to go add. And like you said, you're going to have reinforcements to the top half of that rotation and even slot him lower in that rotation. So like it's going to have some depth to it, man. And if he can keep it going, now you're talking about a really good top 3, top 4.
Sorry, you're talking about names that they believed in, and it made me think. I've thought about this guy multiple times since the start of the year because I'm like, what happened to this guy? Bro, what happened to and you know I'm terrible with name pronunciations. Huascar Ynoa?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever happened to him, dude? Like he showed up on the scene and they're like, this is the next Pedro.
Yeah.
And he pitched like it there for a very brief stint.
Yeah. I don't even know where he is now.
Fell off the map.
Yeah. Is he still there? I don't know.
No, last he pitched for the Braves or just in
Is he a
general.
White Sox?
Oh no, he's with the Twins. How about that? He's pitched in 5 games this year already? Or no, that was spring training. Okay.
Goodness, man.
No, hasn't made an appearance this year. Last pitch in the bigs back in 2022.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they just get one-hit wonders. I don't know if there's
Oh, and then another guy. What was his name? Kyle
Wright.
Yeah.
Kyle Wright, another name. I feel like Ian Anderson was like really good.
He's with
like
the
when he first
Angels
came
now,
up,
right?
and then maybe there's something not clicking at the big league level. Like maybe they're really developing in the younger levels, but not.
Dude, Kyle Wright,
I don't know.
which I completely forgot about, which, you know, do with this information what you will. It doesn't move the needle for most, I would imagine, but led the majors in 2022 with 21 wins.
Yeah.
And then the next year put up a negative 0.6 WAR season, went 1-3 with a 6.97.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
And that was it.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's crazy.
The number of names that they've had where you're like, there's an obvious disconnect. And why are they doing so well early and then fading? So you're making me a little nervous with this buy, but I'm still going to buy. And I'm not ready to throw in the towel on the Braves, even if their own fans are.
No. Which again, revisiting the start they had, what was it, 0-7 to start the year? People couldn't seem to wrap their heads around the fact that, like, and I think I mentioned this last episode, even when we talked about it, that no team has made the postseason starting, forget 0-7. No Braves team had made the postseason starting 0-6. And then they went on to lose the seventh. So they started 0-7. And people were like, well, it's early in the season. I'm like, that's fine. I'm just letting you know that historically, no team, like, I agree with you. I think there's plenty of baseball left, but history isn't on their side. So, I mean, if you think the Braves are going to be the first team to make the postseason after starting 0-7, more power to you. And quite frankly, I mean, I still have them winning the division. That's what I said before the season started. So I'm not necessarily going to change my take now, but I'm just saying history is not on the side of the Braves given their start. That's all I'm saying. But people are like, relax. There's so much baseball left to be played. I'm like, I trust me, I get it. But this
it's still a fun nugget to throw out there.
It doesn't change. Yeah, it doesn't change the reality of this nugget.
It's what our game is. It's numbers. It's stats. We love that. So just because it doesn't go to your narrative doesn't mean you can. Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, shut up. Speaking of shutting up, no, I got nothing. Jack Leiter.
Ooh.
Jack Leiter. Is this another young arm that we're buying?
I'm buying.
I mean, I hate
what the velo is ticked up to.
Woo! I hate the fact that he's out right now with the blister situation. Which that's another thing that I can't say when people are like, grow up, dude. It's a blister. I'm like, try throw it. First of all, without blisters, try throwing a baseball 95 plus.
That's like
and then throw a blister in there.
I think that's like having a professional driver with like a broken toe. Like it's a necessary part for them to do their job.
Yeah.
But I'm still buying just the fact that, I mean, the velo itself is ticked up. It seems like they may have found something with there was a lot of nibbling last year when he first came up. There's a lot of walks. And now it seems like something's happening with his approach and maybe their philosophy of what it can be, right? And you see some guys that like kind of bad with comps on the pitching side, but like if you think of I don't know, like a Glasnow is a perfect example of like, you know, when he was in Pittsburgh, it was like sinkers down, and then it was like once he left and got to Tampa, they were like, how about we ride that fastball up? Let's just let it eat, bit, right? Let's just aim down the middle and let your movement take over. And it doesn't always need to be a change of scenery. Maybe it's just like actually having a Hall of Fame pitching coach in Mike Maddox being like, you know what, let's just use what you're good at. So I'm excited for him between his dad and between that coaching staff and having DeGrom in there and having Scherzer last year. Like, you have so many resources that this guy's been subject to. I'm going to buy. I'm not
going to lie. I just put 2 and 2 together that he is related to Mark Leiter Jr. I just thought that was a coincidence that there was another Leiter, but I was like,
cousins, right?
Yeah, I didn't make that connection, but
yeah, wish his cousin was as good as him.
Yeah,
can't stand Mark Leiter Jr. Sorry.
No, but yeah, I think it was a change in approach from last year because he would fall behind like very early in counts, and I think they're working with him on being more aggressive this year, getting ahead early, and I think even in the early going here, we're seeing a little bit longer outings. Again, I know it's still early, but he's gone 5 innings deep in both starts. His season opening start against the Red Sox, or I should say his first start of the year against the Red Sox, went 5 innings, 5 hits, just 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 4 Ks. And then his most recent start against the Reds, went 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, and 6 Ks. So a little bit more efficiency there.
Yeah, it's just recognizing who he is. Like, I don't think he needs to fish for strikeouts. I don't think he's going to be a normal 8, 9, 10 punch out every start kind of guy. I just don't think that's who he is. So it's just like pitch to contact. Let's let our defense work. Don't seek strikeouts. They'll just come because of your stuff being natural and you have good movement. You got good velo now. Yeah, I think it's gonna be good, man. I believe.
So we're just buying across the board on all these guys.
Buying deep pockets today.
I love it. Is this where the tone changes though? Are we buying this hot start from these two NL West teams and the Padres and Giants? Is this where the train stops? Is this where you hop off?
Yeah, I think it does.
Hop off the train. That's a shame.
Or at least one of them.
We're on a roll there. Yeah. I know. Let me guess. Not buying the Giants.
No.
Yeah, of course not. No. Why? I mean, why would you?
Why would
Yeah, well, I mean, like we were talking about before we started, it doesn't make sense to me. Like how the Giants are winning these games. And again, I know it's early, and you talked about it being maybe a matchups thing, which I could understand.
Yeah,
but like with the
start with the Reds, then they got swept the Astros. I think they got the Mariners right now.
Yeah, but like the thing is, and I mean, let's give some credit to the Reds. I think the Reds are better than the record shows right now. I mean, that rotation is off to I think a pretty decent start last I checked, but with the Giants, it just doesn't make sense to me. With the Padres, like you look at team numbers across the board. Speaking of the Padres, Jackson Merrill just hitting one over the fence, not to the fence, over the fence. But with the Padres, it just makes sense. Like you look at the team numbers across the board, they're like they're upper third. In strikeouts, they're upper third. Opponent average, they have the best opponent average in baseball coming into today. Offensively, they're third. They're hitting for average or 279 as a team. Coming into today.
I just don't know. I don't think anyone's surprised. Like they're still capable, right?
Yeah, they're capable. It's just a matter of whether or not you can sustain that.
Yeah, depth, all that kind of stuff.
And once you start getting into these matchups with the Dodgers, you all start beating up on each other. Those I'm sure will take a toll. But as of right now, that makes sense. But with the Giants, you're middle of the pack on both sides of the ball, as it stands right now. So I'm just not sure how they're winning these games necessarily. Or a different way of saying it is like how you're doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Because of that, though, I don't know if I can buy it. But with the Padres, the evidence is there. Like it tracks. But I don't know if you can say the same thing for the Giants. Like there's no real concrete evidence one way or another, one side of the ball or the other that points to like, okay, yeah, this is why we can believe that this hot start can sustain itself.
Yeah. I don't believe in a lot of offense out of that team. I think like pitching and defense is going to be middle of the road, but like I'm not super high on Matt Chapman offensively. I like Willy Adames. I think Patrick Bailey is, if he can hit league average, he would probably be a top 3 catcher in baseball because of what he does behind the plate. But I just you start running out of names after a while. And I just don't see it being sustainable. Not in that division.
Well,
you go through, I mean, a couple matchups. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but back-to-back series of seeing the Dodgers or the Padres or the Diamondbacks, and all of this is washed away. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I could see this team unfortunately dropping like 8 out of 10 or dropping, like going through that kind of stretch. Anyway. Stay positive.
That stretch has to be in here somewhere. Let me see.
Yeah, there's got to be a couple like back-to-back divisional matchups that are going to be hard to handle, you know?
Oh, yeah. The month of June for the Giants. Yikes. You got, well, I mean, you start the month with wrapping up your series against the Marlins, but then you've got 4 against the Padres, 3 against the Braves, which say what you will about the Braves now. By June, they'll be fine. 4 against Padres, 3 against the Braves. And then you take a little breather, head out to Colorado for a 3-game set against the Rockies. Then you've got 3 against the Dodgers on the road. Then you've got 3 against the Guardians, 3 against the Red Sox. And then you cap the month. I mean, you got the Marlins and the White Sox there as another little breather. But then you cap the month by starting a series against the D-backs on the road. So
there you go.
Month of June is going to be ugly. So Giants fans, get all your optimism out. Enjoy it while you can, because once June gets here, it's over.
Exactly.
But keeping in that division, let's talk Dodgers here for just a moment. Bryce Harper came out with a quote prior to their series with the Dodgers that I thought it'd be worth talking about here briefly. He said, "I don't know if people will like this, but I feel like only losers complain about what they're doing," they being the Dodgers. "I think they're a great team. They're a great organization. That's why guys want to go over there and play. LA is a great city to play in, obviously. They're the mecca of the world of everything from food to nightlife to sports. The Dodgers to the Lakers to anybody. They're going to continue to get guys. They're going to continue to pull guys from the sport. Bullpen, starting pitching, international players, anything like that. That's why this is my GOAT. He's just he calls it like it is. He calls it like it is. Only losers that complain about what the Dodgers are doing."
See, that's all I saw. I felt like it could have ended there.
Yeah, I mean, going as far as to say it's the mecca of the world of everything,
we went heavy.
Of all of the takes out there, that is one of them.
We poured it on a little bit heavy towards the end there.
Bryce, you're locked in.
Wrong.
He's locked into Philly for another decade. There's no point in really lathering him up right now. Bryce.
Yeah, exactly. So
you're not trying to sell anybody.
Yeah.
Still my GOAT though.
Yeah, still keeping it real, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I believe it. And it's if you were to just cut that short, little snippet of a quote and saying, like, if the people that are complaining about them are losers, like, that's a gangster mentality. Like, that's a winner mentality. You know what I mean? Like, good. I want to beat them. Like, you know what I mean? I would have liked a little bit of that in the quote. You know, like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's,
but you
stack it up, load it up. I don't care. I'm still going to want to beat you. And it makes me want to beat you more.
Look, I understand you wanting a little more ferocity out of Bryce there. And I agree. I'm with you. I would have loved a little more, like, kind of stick the knife in and twist it a little bit, get the wheels turning, maybe in a little bit of a rivalry setting there, or stoke the fires of a potential rivalry. But, you got to remember, we're in a different era with Bryce now. This is banana bread Bryce. we're not getting the same fire from him.
This is slow heartbeat, Bryce.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna get, I would imagine, the same sort of output from Bryce we've seen over the last decade. But the mentality, it's sort of like a Conor McGregor. You're not gonna get the same.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get a little bit of an aged, a mature, a more stoic Bryce now. I mean, this is barista Bryce we're talking about. I don't know if you're going to be getting that same sort of those same sound bites, but we shall see. We'll see if this isn't going to turn into anything because he's given them the props that they're due. So
right.
Maybe
that's the new move. Stop giving bulletin board material and just give them their flowers.
Yeah. Lull them to sleep a little bit and then come in and take a series from them. Just do that.
Yeah.
City Connect leaks. Did you by chance see?
Saw a few.
Some of these.
I heard there was a bunch that came out though.
Let me. I don't know what you have seen yet. Let me send this over to you.
Yeah, just text it to me.
Just so you can reference it. The foot route. I don't know if these are legit but from all reports I've seen, that the leaks, the person or the account or whoever it was that leaked these has leaked previous things before, and they ended up being right. So I think they're valid. And I know that the Red Sox one was reported to be green, the new one that they're dropping, and that is in fact a green City Connect. So I would venture to say that these are right. But the Rockies, the Red Sox, the Marlins, and the White Sox, their newest connects have been leaked.
We're going buy sell on this too. Just keep the trend going.
Sure. Let me just preface this by reiterating, and I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm older, I'm wiser now than I was the last time we talked about City Connects, which was probably like a week ago. But I am older, I'm wiser now. I'm not going to get worked up over these things, but let me just reiterate the fact that Nike needs to just call these what they are. They're alternates. These are not, there's nothing about any of these uniforms that connects you to the city. It's just a team alternate. Just call them alternates.
Yeah.
And that's all I'll say on the matter, because I don't care deeply enough to get all worked up about it anymore. Like the Red Sox one, for example, they're modeling it after the Green Monster. They've got if you look above the label on the bottom by the hem, it's got the Green Monster lights on there, like the scoreboard lights.
Yeah, I'll buy this one.
Yeah. Very, very minimalist.
And they've rocked green in the past. Like
they've rocked green in the past. It's a muted green like that of the Monster, which I'm a fan of. A little bit of bias there, certainly, but I'll buy it. But at the end of the day,
sucker for sleeve stripes, by the way, towards the end of the sleeve.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, how is this connecting you to the city of Boston? It doesn't. No. It connects you to Fenway, which is
fine.
The home park of the Boston Red Sox, which is the team that's wearing them. There's no connection going on with the city. The other one that I think got taught, or the one I would say that got the most engagement, we'll call it, is the White Sox one. Just going straight Bulls.
I'm gonna buy it. I'll be honest.
Are you really buying this?
Yeah, because why not? You have nothing else to be proud of.
Wow!
You have nothing else to be proud of.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
My goodness!
Absolutely nothing else. Why not throw some Jordan ones in the team shop and see those go off the shelf?
I've never seen a guy hate the White Sox more than you. It blows my mind. Any opportunity.
I like these more than the South Side ones. I was in the minority there. I get it. I didn't like them. Did not like those. And there were a lot of people's favorites. But just didn't do it for me. This, I'm like, yeah, sure. Just throw a Cubs one. This looks like a one night giveaway at the stadium for the first.
That's what people said. They said
fans.
it seems like a giveaway jersey.
Yeah.
In fact, let me do the people watching on the stream a service here. Let me get this up there so people can see.
There we go. Do your job.
I got to do my job. Here we go. This is what we're looking at here.
There it is.
That's on me, folks. I apologize. Shout out to those of you in the stream. I should have been on this from the get-go. But if you're listening, you can go ahead and pull up the graphic. I tweeted it. I posted to our socials. You can see it as and reference it as we move along here. But yeah, the Red Sox one, like I mentioned, very, very minimalist. The White Sox one, very Bulls theme here. The Marlins.
There's nothing else to be you see what I'm saying? You're utilizing one of your strong suits. And it's the fact that the Bulls were the heart of the city, dominant team for a while.
Yeah. And then the Marlins.
Jordan was a White Sox.
True. The Marlins, I feel like you take a step back there. I don't know. Feels kind of weird.
Ship it in, Miami. Just everyone needs to be fired there.
Man, anytime these City Connects get brought up, he just torpedoes into
because it's a perfect correlation of how what's going on and who's doing their job and who isn't.
That's fair.
Same with the Rockies.
What?
Same
with the Rockies.
Those suck.
My beef with the Rockies is this trend in baseball now of like the buttonless V-neck thing. That's let's not make this a thing.
No.
Let's not make this a thing. Buttons belong in baseball. Full buttons, not even the two buttons up top. This isn't college baseball. These are the big leagues, folks. Buttons belong in baseball. That's going to be our new 3-0 take slogan. Buttons belong in baseball.
Yeah, I hate it, actually. It's my least favorite.
I hate it.
It's my least favorite one.
I don't know. Miami one just with the weird lines. The
Miami one, if you took Miami off the chest, that's just a golf shirt. That's just a golf polo. Take the buttons off. Take Miami off of it. I'm positive Nike has put out golf shirts with that same lining.
I'd believe it.
Yeah. I don't mind that they're trying to like inch the teal back into it, but
yeah, the Miami Vice theme. I'm about it.
Yeah, this whole pink thing. It just
No, I dig it. I dig the color scheme. It's just I think you could have done a little more. But anyway, not to go on and on about these. Closing the book. Let's get this off here. Closing the book. Couple updates with the Dodgers. Shohei's plan to return to the mound. He threw a bullpen session this weekend. And the plan is to get him ready for the postseason, which was sort of news to me. I thought the expectation was that maybe like a mid to late summer return to the mound.
Yeah, same.
But I guess they're just really taking this ramp up slow.
Is that why you took him first overall in fantasy?
We don't need to divulge my approach in fantasy.
That's a tough spot to be in because you're like, are you the guy that is going to say no to taking Shohei?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a difficult place.
Yeah.
I get it. It was like me with Christian McCaffrey last year. It was like at 2, I was like,
Well, I mean, I don't know how
be
good
the guy that says no to Christian McCaffrey, and then I got burned.
Well, where are you going to play him? Second base?
I got burned. What?
I'm just kidding. You just shifted to talking about fantasy football and didn't even mention that we're talking fantasy football. If there's people that don't know who Christian McCaffrey is.
Decently high pick in a draft.
That's fair.
Seem to be getting burned a lot with that
there's
randomizer.
People that don't follow football like scrambling on the front right now. What division is this guy in? I've never heard of this guy.
Young kid coming up for the Giants.
Yep. Keep an eye on him. He's going to be a solid middle of the infield option for the Giants for years to come. And then Blake Snell to the IL. Actually, keeping in that division, Blake Snell and Ketel Marte both to the IL. Snell with shoulder inflammation, Ketel Marte with a strained left hamstring. Hate to see that after the contract. Like, I mean, you hate to see it generally, but whenever a guy is able to.
It's only a 10-day though, so maybe
that
helps.
But he was off to not a half bad start. He was slashing 346, 469, 462. So hopefully he can just pick right back up where he left off.
Snell has not looked great.
No, he's 1-0, 2 ERA. He's made 2 starts. He's looked pretty good.
There's not a ton of strikeout numbers.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but
I was looking at fantasy points wise. I think it was like a 5 spot and a 4 spot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what Snell does. He puts guys on. Yeah. He gets guys on, but he avoids the damage. So I'm sure the Dodgers are hopeful that he can continue that. Well, maybe fewer guys on, but continuing to limit damage when he returns. But other than that, I think that's all we got news wise. You got anything else for the folks?
No. Let's get out of here before the hour hits.
How about it? Well, it just hit. So
us. No, we're 1 minute shy.
I'm sitting at 4 Eastern right now on the dot.
I was looking at like literally like an hour of recording.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Sort of right at 3.
We've wasted 15 seconds on that explanation.
No, you're definitely right. So let's get out of here. Did you say SeatGeek? It's the answer to all your ticket needs. You're looking for tickets? You have plans with friends or family to make it to an upcoming game or concert? Are you even looking months ahead to net on tickets to Are you even looking months ahead to nail down a day to get tickets before they sell out with SeatGeek? You can find tickets at games, concert shows, and even theater performances with just a few easy clicks. We're making it even better for you if you're a first-time user of SeatGeek. Next time you add some tickets to your cart, use our promo code 30TAKE. That's THREEOHTAKE at checkout to save $20 instantly off your first purchase as a first-time user. It's all you got to do to save some of that.
Cold hard cash.
Enter promo code 30TAKE, THREEOHTAKE at checkout.
Now look at us. Stuttering all over that ad read. Now we're over an hour.
I had to dust it off a little bit. It'd been a minute since
true.
I broke that out.
It's been a hot minute. I like it. You guys know the drill. Let's have a good week. Let's be patient with some of these players. Let's not go chasing curveballs ourselves.
We love you all, and as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.